This is day 526 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like to sponsor upcoming shir or more, so Yomi, please contact me directly. It would be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Shinny test. Bill, Sif Vav to Ramen base. Chavav. You had wheat which you rolled from Erev Shabbos, but they're still together, mixed up, jumbled up with their chaff. You can't use the funnel type arrangement to select the grain. It's certainly not a sieve or a strainer. This is considered be borer to the extent you're chayav chatas. Also, don't blow on them with your two hands. It doesn't mean blow literally. Actually, until the chaff, pour from hand to hand until the chaff is removed. That's what we want to do on a weekday. But rather you with one hand. Again, the certainly actually blow. The truth is, I always thought it didn't mean you blow, but no, it's you you do it with oil, strength, you pump up and down until the chaff goes away. That's your shinoi. Now, pech b'piv near the vare mutter, but to blow is for sure mutter. Okay, chav zayin. Ochel amuravim psoles also livor. Food which is mixed with food with refuse that you cannot do borer on. Also, can't get a name until chamayk. They should sharp psoles lamati. You don't have to do borer by putting in the water in order that the refuse floats to the bottom. Okay, kon sharp psoles who are far such as where the refuse is dirt. Or conversely, that's going to float to the top. Such as where it's straw. This is also this is also borer. Some sort of animal fodder, usually. And some of mine, you can't soak in water in order to make the refuse float lamala on top. You also can't scrub it with a hand in order to move the refuse. That is like a borer. The Bir Allah says it's borer mamish, no raisa. Unless there's something you can put them into a strainer, but not to strain them. Hi, the refuse is going to fall out through the holes of the strainer, and it's going to be borer. He didn't do a maisa, is a mukum. You put them in the strainer like you would put it in any place. But the psolas falls on its own accord, so that's not a problem. Which seems very strange. And evidently, that was not considered to be derech brei for the karshinin. We don't know what the karshinin are, so therefore we can't extrapolate from there to anything else. A strain in which you strain dregs. I feel clear Erev Shabbos al hakeli shebisham zav hashmarim. Even if it's even if I always imagine like a drip coffee filter, so that even if it's hanging over the clear Erev Shabbos shebisham zav hashmarim, which to the dregs will flow. Chaygav niyot mutzar niyot is permissible. Come Shabbos asli tembo shmor l'sanano. Shabbos you can't put the dregs in there to filter them. Chayav chatos. It's chatos. It's a liability. Toladas borer or marake. It's a derivative of either borer, selecting, or marake, excuse me, or sifting. I'm not supposed to remind me about yom. But if you put the dregs in there from before Shabbos began, and they don't immediately start dripping. On Shabbos you can put water so that they will remain clear. I guess that means that they won't get clogged up. In order that it should be clear. And you can even filter wine with cloths and an Egyptian basket. It's that the dregs should be clear and they should flow out well. Now, since you started before Shabbos, So therefore, the Maisa is not being done on Shabbos. All you're doing is making sure that it still continues to flow. So that evidently is mutter. It's a big chiddush, but that's mutter. Chavtes, what is trying to say? What does it mean you strain the wine? Hachibrush just means to say, water and wine and all other types of beverages which are suitable for most people to drink as is. Even though people who are very picky are not going to eat them or drink them unless they're strained one more time. Such as there's some white stuff on it, or thin pieces of wood. That's not bora. You should see a big little thing because it's suitable to drink without straining. If they're totally dark and muddled, somebody can't strain. But for some individuals would be bora. That's not called strain. That's not called bora just because of them. In terms of the Allah says the isness himself, it's also. But for everybody else, it's not considered to be also. So again, it's not part of just because there's some few individuals share some who don't want to drink it without filtering. I'm not sure, by the way, that Arukh HaShulchan would agree with Nishabur about that. Now, from his Lashon Smash that even the sensitive person can do it on Shabbos, since he's a Yachid, but Ladaito, so therefore he can do it on Shabbos, as it seems to be from the Arukh HaShulchan. In any event, I've seen, so I have to, of course, when Afkina mice with a brighter filter. Where most people will drink without the brighter filter, but some people like to have it filtered even further. On the manner in which you do the filtering, there are distinctions. The mind behind Lavan also wine and water and white wine, you can't filter them with fat or cloths for another reason. It's lapping because since they're clear, they will cleanse and launder the cloths, and that's awesome. Although the Mishabur example, Rabbo is matir by white wine. Okay, that's interesting about like this, whether white wine is going to be malabbing or not. But in any event, if it's water for sure, the Shriya Zabeg is Zel Kibuso. The soaking of a garment is its laundry. You can only strain them in a special strainer, which is designated for that purpose. I feel beged, even if, and that you can use it even if it's made of fabric. The came the silikach, since that's its use. He's not going to be concerned to squeeze it out in order to cleanse it. I mean, he doesn't care if it gets clean or not. It's the same purpose over and over again. Therefore, its whitening is not, its cleaning is not considered anything in terms of prohibition. So it's soaking is its laundering. And by a cloth, the primary prohibition is because you might come to squeeze it. Came the kapidale, since it's a regular cloth, and you have a kibus, it's laundry. In mele bar minan, she has to sell kibusa. So that we say that soaking is laundering, and Arukh HaShulchan seems to say that soaking is only laundering because inevitably you're going to squeeze it out because you want it to be clean at the end. As opposed to the straining cloth, you designate straining cloth where you're not going to squeeze it out at the end because you don't care if it's clean or not clean. According to this, red wine and other alcoholic beverages which do not cleanse, and we're not concerned that you're going to squeeze them out, which is by Simon Shin Chaf, as will become clear later on. They make the cloth dirty. They discolor it beyond any immediate repair. And this is really making it dirty. She's by Simon Shin Base, which was being explained earlier. This is where you can filter them through this cloth. But when you filter through a cloth, you should make an indentation in the cloth like a hole. Because we need to make a shinui. Not to do like you do in a weekday. Any place where you're allowed to use a cloth Mutter saying on Kvitza Mitzvahs, you can also use that Egyptian basket. Vizel Sal see Miguma. It's a basket which is made of hemp, umimine arava, and from types of willows. As long as you don't lift up the basket from the bottom of the lower vessel, so it should be a shinoi. Be a cloud doesn't mean you shouldn't pick it up at all. Ella shouldn't pick up more than tefach. Less than tefach is permissible, which would make it very difficult to make coffee on Shabbos. I guess little amounts. But we didn't say it's mostly you have to make coffee. I didn't say that. I'm just saying hypothetically. A vessel is made like a sieve with which you strain. It's like the strainer. It's designated for this purpose. But two right, you shouldn't lift up more than tefach because then it's like an oil. Because tefach high, it's no and sham. So that's the case also by fabric. You should be afraid of ohel, not just in a basket. Can you issue show me that those say she'ain't with the Masuda and the cane ain't a lechasa completely clean. So only mutter by a sudar if it doesn't cover the entire vessel. The bezel will have oil. That way it's not oil. But it covers the whole keli. Asim time oil. It's written because of oil. He'll come back to this obviously later on. Lamed v'da, you should know. The Rambam Zal Oisem Mishmeres Lagamre. The Rambam holds a Mishmeres is also altogether. The Perchas in Yudal Kosav Hamasham Yain or Shem is somebody who strains wine or oil or mime or water can try Mashkim Mishmeres Lamb and other beverages in their strainer. Chayov, the Raisa. Vushi Shamer Kegogeres is when you do the shear, which is the Rogeres. Al Masani Yain Shem or Shmorim, but you can strain wine which has no dregs, or mine fluid or clear water. Besudorin with cloths, with klifa mitzvahs, and with the Egyptian basket. So you can use. The Rambam says basically do clear liquids through a through fabric. And just make them even clearer. Ad Kalashon. You're allowed to strain clear wine and clear water in sudorim or klifa mitzvahs in a cloth or in the Egyptian basket. Don't make an indentation in the cloth. Shouldn't do it like you do on a weekday. Day, and then you might come also to use an actual strainer. You have to not hang it the way you would do it on a weekday. If you have a l'shamer, lest you come to actually strain it inappropriately. So a lot of chumas here. Harei shows to the gamri shmeres. He doesn't like the strainer at all. See if you the Ramam also mishmeres. Strainers also. It'll be yain umayim fluim, and even with wine and water which is clear. So because well, I guess because of the whole, you have that issue. The time when I mean it's non, because before he said by Yain Ma'in Slim it's okay, but I guess because the second place it says the whole issue, which is a problem. The time when you're at, the reason seems to be midnan Musani as a Yain Besudar for mitzvahs, Mashatafko Van below Mishmeret. You can only use the Sudarin and Klifa mitzvahs. Oh, I see. Okay, now I didn't understand what I said before. So the Rama says it's also to use a mishmeres. You can't use a strainer. You can use the cloth with white wine and with clear water, but never the strainer itself, because that's derech borer. That's what he's saying. The Tanaim is not signing with the ayin, but sudarik mitzvahs. It says in the Mishnah you can strain wine, but only fabric and with the Egyptian basket. Mashka dafka. Bahem, only with them, below Mishmeres, not with strainer. Mishmeres, you actually zor. Mishmeres, there's a xera, not for these. These are not intrinsically also. But it's a xera, lest you come to do Yezor Shitin Gam Enam Tzulim. They might put non-clear liquids, which require straining, Kedarko Bechol, like you do it a weekday. Lamraf, Avadi Rambam Kneg Gemara Mefreshes. But the Arukh HaShulchan is not going with the Rambam. He says Rambam's difficult, because it gets to the Gemara. And Shabbos stuff goes on with this. Amar Zir knows of them yain solu umayim slim tocha mishmeres for Shabbos in a cheshish. Zir says you can't put the clear wine and the clear water into a mishmeres. Votanya Sham, the Bein Hagitos, also says there at the time of the wine presses, when you press the wine, shows kol yenos achuras, when all the wine is murky. Shows the mishmer, when they drink it with the dregs. You can mix together a wine, which is the wine and the dregs. And you put it into the strainer on Shabbos. They know choshish is not a problem. Ayin shom. They have pasuk negative Shabbos. How can the Ram pasuk against the Shas? The Yosef Tema is astonishing, more astonishing. It means the cause of Sham, but Periches was Shana. He wrote this halacha. It split itself in Periches. Wine from the press. Close my place as long as it's bubbling. You can mix the barrel with the dregs. Put it through cloths. Because the dregs are because the dregs are not separated from the wine very well. All the wine is like one body. Mustard is anything similar. I can't show. So he writes that halacha, and evidently deliberately he changes it. Said not mishmeres, not strainer, but sudarim. The Rambam haya mefarish haya mishmeres shein sudarim. So the same when it says ziri, it says you can use mishmeres. The Rambam understands that means that you can use fabric, and that's Lechem Mishnah. Uvada Shapir's came. I skipped. Basically, the Rambam fire. No. No, that's right. That's definitely the way the Rambam's interpreting it. Abaltemu another Farshkin, but how do you get to that conclusion? The nearest Sholkrach Zemi we call them. It must be compelled to because that says previously ain't told him Shemar Yontif. I can't hang a strain on Yontif. Ain't don't steam with food Shabbos. Can't put in a hanging one on Shabbos. No steam mayim al shmorim. You put water on the dregs. The shulshiyat sulu, so it should be clear. Liquidy. And you can strain wine with fabric. The Shavik and Shemar, since it was talking about Shemar in the previous line, what you can do in Yom Tov Shabbos, and then it's switched. So it said you can strain with the strainer the wine and also with sudarim. Shemami doesn't say the mishmeres cloud low, unless you can't use the mishmeres at all. That's he has to explain. In a place the Gemara does use the language of mishmeres, that means sudarim means fabric. Anyway, Lamed base. Any beverage you drink as is, you're allowed to strain. I know what the Russell is, but it's made from pickled squash. Russell shell ugarkis. It's made from cucumbers, kroit, cabbage, borikas, beets. You can strain them. You can drink them without straining. Also a beverage which has a straw or a little piece of wood, or zvumim, or flies. You can sweep away the psolas to one side. Lishtos, a drink, came in loads and mishlati, because you can drink without doing that. It's just when you get in your mouth. I guess the mashke. Kedushim, also a beverage of crushed almonds. They have Shabbos, which are crushed on Shabbos, mutar sanram. You can strain them. Because you can drink them without straining. Also vinegar, which is a little bit thick, mutar sanram, you're allowed to strain it. And unless it's very thick. The where you can't drink it without straining it. Then you can't strain it. Any beverage which is so muddied, thick, that you can't drink it, also sanara. You can't strain it. Anything which you can drink as is, you're allowed to strain it.